Hey, been a while. There are times in everyone's life, especially around the new year, where we take a look back on things and realize how stupid we are, and we regret putting that idiocy online. And for me, a big thing I like to do is evaluate how I've become better at video editing, and how I can eventually tie all that into the filmmaking process. For those of you that don't know, I'm working on a documentary, a proper long one too, which will air soon, so maybe, get subscribed. But all this said, as your abilities grow and you get better at something, you will inevitably take a look back on something you were once proud of with disgust. What the fuck? Your Name, the single best combination of art and filmmaking in my opinion, is borderline hated by its creator, Makoto Shinkai. Not because of what it is, but because of what it could have been. And for me, Your Name is this fucking video right here. Jesus, it sucks. That is the very first video I made for my channel, and boy, I've come a long way. For starters, I'm pretty much exclusively using buzzwords that I don't understand, and it sounds like shit. I don't know what I'm talking about in this video. But this said, I did record this audio in the closet at my grandma's house with a gaming headset microphone that I had, and I edited everything on my Android phone. So for what it is, I was really proud of it, especially with how decently I mastered the audio. I will say, however, I had some pretty heavy influence from one specific creator, but who doesn't? And maybe I did try to do this again and it failed, and that's why I don't really do the film review thing. But regardless of how bad this video is, I was correct. This movie that this video is about sucks, and I was right about that, just not for the right reasons. This movie, the Assassin's Creed film, did in fact suck massive donkey shit. Not because it was written poorly and not because it was performed poorly, it failed because of its source material. And maybe I get some hate for this, but I don't care. The Assassin's Creed movie was doomed to fail from the start because the Assassin's Creed franchise sucks.
Suck a polar bear's funky ass! Suck a racehorse's cup with honey tomato ketchup!
Out of every video game franchise in existence with this many releases, Assassin's Creed is by far the worst. And it's not like it started out well and got bad after a while like Fallout did. It's always been crap. People just didn't realize it at the beginning. Back when I made this video about the Assassin's Creed movie, I was under the assumption that the game it was based on was good, but the movie, like many other video game movies, failed to represent that. But I was wrong. The movie sucks because the source material sucks. The games suck. Every one of them, not just the early ones, they're all shit. But worse than being a bad game is that it's just not fun. And don't get me started on Uplay. Trailing missions, forced open worlds, broken parkour systems, uninteresting storylines, unfunny, non-entertaining, life-draining, repetitive side quests. Well, I don't know, guys. I guess you're right. These games are fun. I was wrong. Bye-bye.
Oh, bro.
And the worst bit about all this is that it doesn't need to be so bad. Buried underneath the convoluted mess that these games have turned into is the possibility for a really solid game. Even a great one. The hidden blade idea was so sick to me as a kid that if you weren't taking a pencil and sticking it into your watch band when you were that age, you weren't childing right.
Desmond Mile hoodie? Love alarming! It's a limited edition.
The thing is though, this perception of badassery that we had when we were younger is due to marketing and the belief that the Assassin's Creed movie could be cool because it looked like it would be. The sword fighting mechanics in this game are shallow and uninteresting. You're not gonna get to the level of like Dark Souls or even Skyrim at most times. But it's flashy and sort of interesting enough to work if you wanted it to. And that's all I can really ask of Ubisoft at this point, is just to let me do the assassinating. I mean, it's in the title. Come on, Dad, just let me listen to Slipknot. You wouldn't understand. It's like Ubisoft doesn't want you to enjoy yourself, and I know I'll get hate for this, but whatever. They need to have an expansive open world with uninteresting characters and uninteresting storylines behind them, instead of sitting down and remaining focused on making a linear, story-driven game that I could actually enjoy the entire time I play it. They decide to do whatever this is. And this is where Uncharted comes in. In Assassin's Creed 1, the video game that the movie is based off of, Desmond Miles goes back in time as an elite, unstoppable assassin that does parkour and kills bad people. How they achieved the feat of making this boring, I couldn't really tell you. But what I can tell you is that it just doesn't work for this film. And in the Assassin's Creed games, there's no drama and there's no stakes because you just don't care. It's soulless and uninspired, and it truly makes me sad to know that this much hard work, effort, dedication, crunch time by developers went into this massive pile of that they release every single year. But as for Uncharted, no, baby, we're making memories. We love our characters. We're caring about what happens to them. What the hell? I've never seen that before. People like to assume that just because the Assassin's Creed movie sucked, so will Tom Holland's Uncharted movie. And I really do seriously understand where you're coming from with this, but you're wrong. Yes, both the Assassin's Creed story and Uncharted are both heavily story-oriented with massive expository dumps, which you know I love. Yes, in both games you play as a globe-trotting treasure hunter that kills a bunch of people, with eerily similar platforming sections. And hell, they're voiced by the same voice actor sometimes. Nolan, buddy, what are you doing? But in my opinion, the sole reason that Uncharted will work as where Ass Creep failed is because Naughty Dog knows how to write a story, whereas Ubisoft doesn't. The characters aren't distinctly sectioned off into old man with knowledge, oblivious badass, and girl with attitude like they are in this stupid film. They are their own people with their own moral compasses, feelings, and obligations. They are witty, funny, sassy, living, breathing people with their own personalities, living their best life.
There's a guy above you, there's a guy above you. There's a guy below you, there's a guy below you.
They talk to each other like humans, and you can tell that Nolan North and friends are having a great time in the sound booth when they have to record these silly, fun, dramatic, or even sad scenes.
Listen, face it, genius. You've been played.
You overlooked one little detail, didn't you, partner? What? Face it, genius, you've been played. Oh, really?
Hey! Jackass, you're ruining the show here.
Ah, what a shame.
Whereas in poop shit over here, everybody is a lifeless robot. It sucks, it's done wrong, and I'm
Shitting and shitting and coming.
While over in Uncharted Land, I'm literally crying because goddammit they killed Sully.
What?
Sully.
And I'm going sicko mode on them in Uncharted 3. I'm hanging off a train in Uncharted 2. I'm in the craziest car chase I've ever seen in my life in Uncharted 3. Like, what the hell? Oh my god! Whereas in Assassin's Creed, the most exciting thing I'll be doing is jumping off a building. And it's these crazy impactful scenes from the video game that I have a very strong feeling will be transitioned over into the big screen. Look at this comparison between the cargo scene in Uncharted 3 and the cargo scene in the Uncharted movie. You see, if they want this movie to work, and they do, this is what they needed to do. They needed to commit. They needed to work to find what was so great about the storytelling in these video games and transition that over to the big screen. And they did it, you son of a bitch, you did it! And I, for one, cannot wait to see how wrong everyone is for saying that this movie can't work and video game movies are trash and Tom Holland looks like a baby and Mark Wahlberg is too young. I mean, dude, look, he's in his 50s. And they're all crying about everything has to be exactly the same as the video games because if they don't, I'm gonna shoot myself. So yeah, I'm excited. This movie's gonna slap like child abuse. Well, that does it for this video. If you couldn't tell, I'm actually wearing an outfit that I wear often, so I didn't do this on purpose, but especially when I carry my messenger bag, people ask me if I'm cosplaying as Nathan Drake. I mean, not in public, but I was at a con, whatever. So yeah, can't wait to see this movie, and you know on the Lord I'll be making a review of it. Sorry. I really don't want to keep making things about films. I mean, I'm a huge film guy, and I'm taking film classes, and I love film in general. The idea would be for me to be a film major, but that's not gonna happen. So I use my YouTube channel as a creative outlet. I am working on that documentary. If it's already out, once it does air, I'll have a little eye thing pop up over here for you guys so you can watch it right after this. I did do a series of videos covering what I liked and what I didn't like about the Venom series, the 2 films that came out recently, and if you do want to go check that out, I'd appreciate it. As far as anything else, if you could just let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me cover or anything like that, just give me a thumbs up or something down there. I mean, the engagement is always thanked. Feel free to check out the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. So yeah, feel free to check out my other videos if you want to, and if you don't, guys, remember, No one cared.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!